Right, I've just come back from the estate agents, just booked a viewing for tomorrow. So again, I will do video about that progress and process then. But anyway, I wanted to carry on my journey, I put this into different phases. So my last two I spoke about the decision and the sacrifice and the grind, right? But the main thing I felt like I benefited the most from moving here was the focus and attention I had to have on money. Like I had to have it because that was the main thing. That was my issue. All these jobs, the income, managing that money, managing small amounts of money. And just, yeah, there was days where I had zero money. There's days where I literally had nothing. There's days where like I was getting paid nothing and I had to make that last. And I just literally pushed myself to live on the bare minimum. That's put me in this frugality mentality. So now I always, it's like I'm brainwashed myself for this point, like until now, it's ingrained in me to get paid, right? And I've done a podcast episode, and obviously I've spoken about this before. But I manage my money like a system. So on payday, I always save 10%. I put 1% for now into my trading 212. I've got a YBS, which is a fixed rate bond. So that again hasn't got a card, so it's not easy to withdraw and spend money. And now that I literally just withdraw some money today, and it's just like I've managed money. Managing money is the biggest skill in life, right? It doesn't matter how much money you make, it's how much you keep. And you could be a bin man, right? You could be any job, no matter what job you do, it's what you do with the money. That's why lifestyle inflation is the biggest debt killer for consumer debt, specifically. Credit card debt is insane because people are not using it to invest or using it as leverage. They're using it to go on holidays because they don't have money. You shouldn't use your credit card because you don't have money. Use it to build your credit, borrow and pay it back always. You know what I mean? I've had to, like I said, I'm a guru in this sense because I've been forced to focus on money. I've been forced to focus on credit and mortgages. I could talk about this till the cows come home. I've become a basic level. I don't think I'm a genius yet at explaining it. I could really take someone, I feel, from debt, from low credit, not having a mortgage and renting, to literally having their own place. Easy if they listened. And, it's all down to that and the person. But anyway, the money, that is the key. What I've done with my money, my set, man, there's only three things you can do with money, right? Spend, save, invest. Done. There's nothing else you can do with money. And knowing how to live within your means, knowing, what needs to be spent and what doesn't, you know what I mean? And what investing is, right? Because you can invest in yourself, you can invest in information, you can invest in people. So, you always got to look at that return on any investment in your life. So that was the main thing. And obviously going gym. I lived in the gym for the first 8 months, and just me going gym has forced me to commit to something for the whole time. Right, I've committed to these videos every week, right? Every week, every month, definitely since I've been here. It's that commitment, you know what I mean? And like results don't show up overnight. And if the gym is the best example, the gym is the best example. You're never gonna see the body you want in the time you want. But one day you open up your chest, you take your top off, and you're like, oh wait a minute, I'm really in shape right now, man. And that's that compounding effect of consistency. So going to the gym was another thing that helps me in my mind, helps me in my body. And obviously the money is the architect of everything that we do, right? Manage your money. That's that one thing if you do, it will help everything else. Like the last thing in the phases of where I've been going in this journey from homeless to home ownership, from moving from London to Glasgow, right? The main thing I would say is this fire movement and property. So I don't want to get this too long, but it's been long now. So everyone knows I come in for property. Okay, cool. Why property? What does property do? Property gives you passive income, right? Cash flow after all the stuff is paid, right? Okay, cool. So why would you want to buy a yard to live in, right? Because all your money is going to go in your yard. Let's just go on statistics and numbers now. 80% and 90% of someone's household income is in their house. Once your lifestyle, not even inflation, I would just say lifestyle progression. Once you have a kid, once you get married, once you have a car, once your responsibilities, financial obligations rise, you can't really save and invest. That's why they say do it young, because you're still at your parents' house, you still ain't got no kids, so you're at that you're still at that fertile stage. If you're lucky enough to have wisdom at my age and have no kids and say, "Hello, I'm gonna start again and buy a house and do it properly with experience," I think that's the biggest thing. Like now, when I got into a house, I've gone in with experience, more than 10 years living by myself, so I know the whole game, right? And I've been in debt, I've cleared debt, and I started again, so I can go back into the habits and all of this stuff because I've really lived it, right? So that is the biggest caveat. I just feel like out of these phases, the biggest thing is realizing what property is doing for me in terms of the time, why I'm invested in property as a get go, why I'm, thinking about the FIRE movement and saving and investing. So it's not just a house. I'm putting money into stocks as well. Putting that what once I get some increase in once my debts are gone, sorry, I start increasing my limits. So at the moment, 1% is not really doing much, right? It just makes the account grow. But I really want to be doing the DCA, which is dollar cost averaging, 20% of what I make my net pay, and I'll be putting 65% in my stocks. I sell stocks and shares. Then they're going to put 35% in my trading account. Buy, hold long term. That's it. So 5, 10 years, 15 years, whatever it is. You know what I mean? And obviously you pay whatever taxes you got to take out. So again, I'm not a guru, but I know stuff. I can talk about it, right? But the game really is putting money to work for you, right? Even in property, I'm thinking, okay, well, the guys that's in the middle, that is, if you look at the cash flow quadrant, they're like self-employed business people who are working for the rich, working for the wealthy people who have endless or large amounts of money that you don't see. These are faceless millionaires, right? So they really make their money work for them. So if you don't know the cash flow quadrant, it's the E, employed, self-employed, S, big business owner, 500 or more employees, or investor. So again, investing in stocks is somewhat passive. Property can be semi-passive, depends how you set it up. And then the last thing I would say really is setting up a business that works without you, right? And at the moment, I would just put the game out there, SaaS, which is software as a service. So everything about software. Yeah, and by 2030, man, everything's gonna be about automation, AI. Trust me, this ain't just ChatGPT and Claude. Like you got to think about how you're gonna streamline the steps, how you're gonna make this stuff work. Because Uber and Deliveroo model, that's what I've been obsessive about the last 10 years. I would say they changed the game because the businesses existed, but the system streamlines all the steps. It helps both parties, and that's how you have to think. So I'm thinking time. I'm not thinking about having a business to go and have things, right? I will live within my means for years before I even touch the money. Put the money back in the business, reinvest, and then put it into something that will work for you. Because at the end of the day, bro, for me personally, I don't want my first child being born and I'm still grinding and hustling. I haven't got a day to even sit down with them. I want to be there for the fertile years you can never get back. You know what I mean? And so for me anyway, that's my journey, bruv. And that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm trying to create generational wealth. I'm trying to let people believe that this is possible with hard work, dedication, and determination. And I'm gonna be the first billionaire in my family. Remember, I said that. Someone record this video and show me whenever you feel like I'm a billionaire or whatever. But I'm talking about in wealth, not in assets. I'm not showing our wealth. We want to let the money work for us. And we face value might look we have nothing. And that's the stealth wealth mentality. Really being a minimalist, practicing that and knowing what you really, really can live without. What's discretionary, what's non-discretionary. Again, I feel like I'm a finance guru, but it's just I've seen people that are good at business. I've seen people that made money, but without the fundamentals, financially, it will just crumble overnight. So yeah, this is my long form I feel now because it ain't as short anymore. But yeah, that's what I want to do is go through them phases. I'm about to pull up in the hotel right now and just go through my last week of training and go through my sales, my numbers, what I'm trying to do for the whole of June. So I really look at June, what I'm doing every week, what I plan to do, and just that last little recap. I done a big recap yesterday, but last little recap of May. So I'm gonna go relook at all of the things that I've screenshotted on ChatGPT or the pictures I've taken and little videos that I posted, and just general overview. It's always good to reflect and project. That's like an obsession at this point. So yeah, that's it really, man. I'm gonna go to work tonight. So I'm working 2 nights this week. Sorry, 3, but I'm working 2. Then I'm doing 3 days in the office doing sales, and then I got the last day, which is the Saturday night where I'm working in the casino, and then Wednesday got another property event. So we'll be pulling up the camera and tell you about the debrief of that event as well. So yeah, we keep going, and keep going and keep growing, and I will see you on the other side. Love.